If you like to learn English phrasal verbs and native expressions using stories, you are in the right place. Hi, my name is Ming and I teach English. Today I'm going to read you a short story that's broken down into 7 sections. After each section, I'm going to explain the native expressions in that section and give you sample sentences how to use these in everyday English. At the end, you'll have an opportunity to listen to the full story without interruption to test yourself on how much you remembered. So by the end of this video, you should be able to understand and use these expressions in your conversations. Let's get started. On Sunday, Sarah slept in. She took her time eating breakfast, getting dressed, and putting on her makeup. By the time she headed out, it was already noon. As she walked down the street, she ran into her friend Tom, who suggested they hang out a little bit later. To sleep in is to stay in bed longer than usual. It could mean that you don't use an alarm and you just sleep as long as you want, or it can mean, for example, normally you wake up at 4:30 in the morning, and so today you set your alarm for 7:30. That could still be sleeping in. I'm so happy I don't have to work tomorrow, so I can finally sleep in. I slept in every day of my vacation. Do you want to go to the gym tomorrow, or are you going to sleep in? Take your time means don't rush, don't hurry. Take your time and do it right. When you're taking a test, don't panic. Take your time and read every question carefully. You can use it in a sarcastic way too, like when someone is being too slow. I was stuck behind someone in traffic who was just taking his time. To put on makeup. This is the most common way to say apply makeup. The formal expression might be to apply cosmetics. She always puts on makeup before she leaves the house. Remember that put is put, has put. It's an irregular verb. All 3 sound like put. I don't like to put on too much makeup. The opposite of put on is take off. I always take off my makeup before I go to bed. We say this differently if someone is doing it for you. Like if someone is putting on makeup for you and you're paying them to do a service, we say get our makeup done. Get something done or have something done. We use this with any kind of service. Like you can get your nails done, you can get your hair done, you can get your oil changed in your car, you can get your book edited, or get your book translated. This construction is the most common way to say that you are asking someone or paying someone to do a service for you. To head out is just to leave. It's getting late. Do you want to head out soon? After dinner, they headed out for a walk. To run into someone means to meet someone that you didn't plan on meeting. Usually if we meet someone, it means we had a plan to do that. So I met my friend at the store means we had planned to meet at the store. While I was at the market, I ran into an old friend. I didn't plan on meeting her. They ran into each other at the airport. You can also run into problems, issues, trouble. We were supposed to finish the project yesterday, but we ran into some problems. To hang out is just to spend time with someone casually. They like to hang out at the beach on weekends. Let's hang out at my place and watch a movie. A little bit later, or in a little bit, means in a short time. There are several similar variations. In a bit, in a little while. I'll call you back in a little bit. I'm right in the middle of something. She said she'd be here a little bit later, so let's wait for her. Can we meet a little bit later today? Sure thing, Sarah told him. I'll catch up with you later. She stopped by her favorite coffee shop to pick up a latte and catch up on some writing she had been wanting to do. Sure thing is an expression that means certainly, of course, or no problem. If someone asks you to do something and you want to reply in a way that is polite and affirmative, you can say, sure thing. Can you help me with something? Sure thing, no problem. You can also use it when someone says thank you instead of saying you're welcome. No problem. Anytime. Sure thing. Of course. Certainly. My pleasure. Don't mention it. Are all different ways that you can say you're welcome in English. Catch up with someone. So this phrasal verb is used 3 times in this story, and its meaning is a little bit different every time. Here she says, I'll catch up with you later. Here it means she's going to meet him later. She could have said, I'll see you later. I'll call you later. I'll text you later. I'll get a hold of you later. I'll get in touch with you later. Let's connect later. Let's meet up later. So the focus here is on meeting and talking. It doesn't always have that meaning. To stop by somewhere is to go to a place but not stay long. It's very common to hear that you stop by a place on your way to another place. Can you stop by the store on your way home and pick up some milk? She stopped by a local cafe on her way to the mall. Synonyms are to stop in, drop by, and drop in. He decided to drop by and say hi since he was in the neighborhood. To pick up is to collect something or collect someone. So you can pick something up or pick someone up. He picked up a book at the airport. Can you pick me up from school today? Oh, I need to pick up my laundry before they close. By the way, the place that does your laundry, or where you pay to do your own laundry in the US, is called a laundromat. That's different than the dry cleaners. The dry cleaners is where you take your clothes that can't be washed because they're too delicate. Culture note. In Asia and in Central America, and a lot of other places that I've seen, it's common at the laundromat for them to do your clothes for you. So you go and drop off your clothes and they wash them and dry them, and then you come and pick them up later. In the US, that's not so common. If that exists, it would be way more expensive because of the labor, right? So normally laundromats in the US, poor people use laundromats because most people who have money will have a washer and a dryer in their house. We don't usually pay people to do our laundry for us, but if you don't have a washer or dryer, you might go to the laundromat. So you put the change in the machine and you sit and wait for it to be done. It's not common to like drop it off and then come back later. Catch up on some writing. So this is the second way that we're using catch up on something. And it means to do something that you haven't had time to do yet. So you can catch up on cleaning, catch up on emails, catch up on sleep, catch up on work, catch up on a show or a series that you were watching. I've been working a lot lately, so I haven't had time to catch up on Indian Matchmaker. True story. I need to catch up on my schoolwork. He took the day off and caught up on some much needed rest. Caught up, past tense. Pronunciation is caught. Caught up on. As she was typing away on her laptop, a stranger came up to her and asked if she could give him directions. Sarah was happy to oblige and pulled out her phone to look up the directions. So she's typing away. When you are doing anything away, it means you're doing it continuously, you're doing it energetically, you're like really focusing on this thing that you're doing. Like working away. He's outside working away in the shed. She's in her corner reading away. The artist painted away until morning, busy painting all night. To come up to someone or to come up to something is to approach that thing. It's way more common to say come up to than it is to say approach. She came up to me and said hi. So to come up to someone and to go up to someone are the same meaning. The difference is in your position. So the same with come and go. If someone is coming, they're moving in your direction. If someone is going, they're moving away from your direction. He came up to me as soon as I walked in the door. Are you going to go up to him? If they're way over there and they have no relation to your position at all, you're going to use go up to. He went up to the cop and asked for help. We give directions. We get directions. We ask for directions. We don't say or tell directions. Can you give me directions to the nearest gym? She got lost and had to stop and ask for directions. After I got the directions, we started driving. Oblige is kind of a formal word, but it means to comply, just to do what someone asks you to do. This word is pronounced with the schwa sound. Oblige, oblige. Google actually says that it's supposed to be pronounced with the O. Google is lying to you, but do you know who is not lying to you? Me, and also ChatGPT. Even though this is a formal word, you won't hear it very much, but there is one expression that is a common expression using this word, and that is happy to oblige. This is similar to you're welcome again. So if someone says, wow, thanks so much for picking me up from the airport, you could say, happy to oblige. To pull something out is to remove it from whatever it is inside. She pulled out a book from her bag and started reading. I'm going to pull these out of my bag. Put them in, pull them out, take them out is another way to say. I took out my wallet to pay, but he insisted. To look something up means to search for information. You can look something up on Google. You can look something up in the dictionary. I need to look up the formal definitions of words before I make my videos. I always look up the address of the restaurant before I leave the house. He forgot the name of the actor and looked it up on his phone. After giving the stranger directions, she kept working until her battery died. There were no outlets available in the coffee shop, so she headed to the library to plug in her laptop. To keep working or to keep doing something is the most common way that you will hear native speakers say to continue. Specifically, it has this connotation of continuing to do something even if it might be difficult or tiring. We need to keep working until we reach our goals. She kept working on her essay all night. Notice that she is working on her essay. We work on things. I suspect I will never look how I want to look, but I will keep working on my fitness goals anyway. Your battery dies. Any electronic device dies, but mostly we say it about devices that have batteries. My phone is about to die. I have to call you back. Her battery died in the middle of the Zoom meeting. The battery in his watch was dead. This is an outlet. An outlet is a power source. You plug in your phone to the outlet. There aren't any outlets in the coffee shop, so I need to go to the library to charge my phone. He found an outlet at the airport to charge his laptop. Plug something in is how we say connect to the outlet or to any power source, right? Like you can plug your phone into the wall, or you can plug your phone into your computer, or you can plug your phone into your power bank. When you say like, I need to plug in my phone, everyone knows that that means you need to charge your phone. I need to plug it in. You can plug anything in that has a cord. So you plug in the blow dryer, you plug in the water kettle, you plug in the refrigerator and the microwave. I have a wired mouse, so I need to keep it plugged in. To head to somewhere, we already said head out is just to leave. You can also head to the place that you're going. I'm going to head to the gym after work. He's heading to school now. He's on his way to school now. Funnily enough, she ran into Tom again. This time they chatted for a bit and decided to go out to lunch. At the restaurant, they ordered some burgers and caught up on each other's lives. Funnily enough is a native expression. You can also say strangely enough or weirdly enough. And it's how we point out that something that we just said is surprising. Funnily enough, I ran into my old chemistry teacher in the airport. I was just thinking about her, and weirdly enough, she called me in that moment. Go out to eat. So this is when you leave your house to go eat somewhere. This is the most common way that you will hear native speakers say this. We do not say, I'm eating outside. We say I'm eating out, or I'm going out to eat, or I am out to eat. She usually goes out to eat once a month. Past tense is went out. We went out to dinner after the movie. A lot of non-native speakers will say, I'm eating outside, to mean I'm eating out. And to a native speaker's ears, this sounds like you are eating outdoors, like you are eating in the yard. The focus is on the fact that you're outside, that you're not inside a building. Even if you're eating like street food, right? Even if you're actually outside eating street food, it's still better to say, I'm eating out, if your meaning is that I'm outside of my home eating at some establishment, right? Because if you say I'm eating outside, the meaning, the focus is that I'm not indoors right now. So like if it starts to hail or there's some huge storm or something, and someone calls you and like, oh, are you safe? Like, where are you right now? Then you could say, I was eating outside when the storm hit, right? Because the focus, the meaning is on the fact that you are not inside a building protected from the storm. By the way, if you leave your house to go get food and then bring it back to your house, that's called getting takeout. So I'm not going out to eat. I'm just going to go get takeout. Means I'm going to grab it and come back to my house and eat it at home. Catch up. This is the third way that we've heard this expression in the story, and it's probably the way that you're most familiar with. It means to update someone on your life. We can update each other on our lives, catch up with each other. Like, what's been happening lately in your life? Tell me. Let's catch up. Let's catch up over a beer. That means let's drink a beer and talk about our lives. After lunch, they went for a walk in the park. As they cut across an open field, they came across a group of people playing frisbee. Tom suggested they join in. Sarah was not having it at first, but eventually Tom brought her around. To cut across means to go through and take a route that is shorter, right? So if you cut across a field, instead of walking around it, it's like a shortcut. You cut through the field. We cut across the football field to get there faster. She cut across the parking lot and headed directly for her car. To come across is to find something that you were not necessarily looking for. I came across an interesting article in the newspaper this morning. Do we still read newspapers? I don't know why I came up with that sentence. While she was cleaning out her closet, she came across an old photo album. To join in is to participate, usually in some kind of group activity. She always tries to join in the conversation. I did not like to join in when my classmates used to play sports. Not having it. She was not having it. This is a little bit slang. It means to disagree or refuse to do something. I am not having it. He forgot her birthday again, and she is not having it. So to bring someone around is to persuade them. When you bring someone around, they come around to your way of thinking. I finally brought my parents around to the idea of me studying abroad. She brought her boss around to the idea of spending money on a new project. They had a blast playing frisbee and even learned some new tricks. By this time, it was getting late. As the sun began to set, they headed back to Sarah's apartment, where Tom helped her set up her new TV. They watched a movie and then chatted until late into the night. Sarah went to bed feeling grateful for the unexpected adventures of the day and ready to see what Monday would bring. To have a blast is to have a great time, to have fun. We had a blast at the concert. The music was amazing. I love hanging out with him. We always have a blast together. We had a blast in Hawaii on our vacation. It's getting late is just a really native way to say that time is passing quickly. It's almost bedtime, or maybe it's time to go. It's getting late. We need to hurry up and leave. Head back to somewhere. So we've had head out, which is to leave. head to a place, and now we're heading back, which is to return. We need to head back to the hotel and rest a little bit before dinner. We need to return to the hotel. She headed back to work after lunch. To set up is to prepare or arrange something. You can set up your TV, you can set up your computer. You need to set up the tables and the chairs before the guests arrive at the party. I move every month or so. Every time that I move, after I pack my things and go to a different place, I have to set up my things again. And I have to set up my life again. Make sure my things are where they're supposed to be so that I can live my life normally. Maybe I have to put my shampoo in the shower and put my food in the refrigerator and put my clothes in the closet. But I also have to do things like find where the gym is, find a nail salon, find the supermarket so that I know where to go when I need something. Ready to see. Ready to see is like excited or looking forward to something. So I'm ready to see what is going to happen on the next episode of Indian Matchmaking. I'm ready to see what AI tools they come out with next. I'm ready to see what's going to happen, what something will bring. In the story, it says Sarah was excited to see what Monday would bring. So what something would bring is what's going to happen in this time period of Monday. I wonder what the new year will bring. No one knows what the future will bring. Okay, so are you ready to take your listening skills to the next level? Now I'm going to give you an opportunity to listen to the whole story from start to finish. Turn off the subtitles, just listen, and see how much you can understand. Don't forget to subscribe if you like lessons like this so that you can learn more phrasal verbs and native expressions. On Sunday, Sarah slept in. She took her time eating breakfast, getting dressed, and putting on her makeup. By the time she headed out, it was already noon. As she walked down the street, she ran into her friend Tom, who suggested they hang out a little bit later. Sure thing, Sarah told him. I'll catch up with you later. She stopped by her favorite coffee shop to pick up a latte and catch up on some writing she had been wanting to do. As she was typing away on her laptop, a stranger came up to her and asked if she could give him directions. Sarah was happy to oblige and pulled out her phone to look up the directions. After giving the stranger directions, she kept working until her battery died. There were no outlets available in the coffee shop, so she headed to the library to plug in her laptop. Funnily enough, she ran into Tom again. This time, they chatted for a bit and decided to go out to lunch. At the restaurant, they ordered some burgers and caught up on each other's lives. After lunch, they went for a walk in the park. As they cut across an open field, they came across a group of people playing frisbee. Tom suggested they join in. Sarah was not having it at first, but eventually Tom brought her around. They had a blast playing frisbee and even learned some new tricks. By this time, it was getting late. As the sun began to set, they headed back to Sarah's apartment, where Tom helped her set up her new TV. They watched a movie and then chatted until late into the night. Sarah went to bed feeling grateful for the unexpected adventures of the day and ready to see what Monday would bring. Okay, that's all for today. I hope it helped. So my challenge to you is pick 5 of the words, the phrasal verbs, and the native expressions that you just learned. Pick the ones that you like, but that you never use in conversation. And I challenge you to use these in conversation this week. And if you like learning with short videos, follow me on TikTok where I get to the point in seconds. Bye!